Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Kal Halalim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and shalom to the prophets of our body, and shalom to the 144,000. Okay. Now, in terms of the basic milk scriptures of this truth of knowing that you're an Israelite, waking up pursuant to Romans 8:16, that our spirit beareth witness and we believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You will have this spiritual radar where you'll understand the truth and how our people move. And the fact that we are the same race, even though we've been divided up due to growing up in certain cultures, assuming that people of another culture are not our people. Right? Now, I want to touch on the Italians, all right, or the Sicilians. I mean, all of Italy was pretty much, ruled by the Moors. Okay? The Moors were basically Israelites, so-called black men, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Like the so-called black, well, at that time they weren't known as so-called black Americans or so-called Haitians or so-called West Indians. At the time they were Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They were converts to the Islamic religion. Now, Islam has nothing to do with us as Israelites. F Islam, all right? We don't care about no damn Muslims, all right? But we're just talking about the ethnicity, the race, or as my Northern Kingdom brothers would say, the raza, okay? The loins you come from, okay? Now, if you want to look at Italians, now, this lady here, I don't know, what's her name? Let me see her name. Anyway, her channel is called NYTN. She's got some great videos on, the ethnicity of Babe Ruth and a lot of Italians playing Native Indians, and she's got some great historic stuff. She's focusing on a lot of ethnicity. She's basically looking at the fact that, and she understands the fact that Italians and so-called black people in America have gone through similar experiences, even though the so-called black man has faced it worse because they couldn't really blend in that time. Italians were borderline. You had some like Frank Sinatra, right, whose mother is Northern Italian. She had the blue eyes, so he came out paler, right? And his father was Sicilian. So even though Frank Sinatra is Jake, right, he could sort of have the complexion for the protection. But a lot of Italians, especially like her, she could pass for a Latina. You can see she's light brown, she's light tan, and she's not even tanned yet. I guess when she goes in the sun, she'll get darker, right? She's going to speak to her father about how they made fun of his complexion.
Do you really need prop capital to make
commercials? I hate these commercials.
They have blonde hair and blue eyes, but there are Northern Italians that are very fair-skinned.
So the Sicilian thing was just kind of like, it's just all kind of in there.
Yeah, it was kind of
now he's focusing on the Northern Italians and Southern Italians. If you watch The Sopranos, you'll see Furio Giunta, the hitman with the ponytail. He's saying that he hates the North. If you're into the show The Sopranos, it ended in 2006, but it's such a great show. I mean, you got to understand it. Look at it this way as well. The world follows the coolness, even though Italians and gangster shit and Latino gangster shit and black gangster shit is evil. It's foul. But the world follows, because Jake has that salt and that flavor, the world follows it and wants to be like them, right? You got Jake, rappers having Italian hitman type names when they rap, Capone or whatever, Latino gangster names, Noriega or whatever, Then you got everybody around the world want to be like a cholo. You got the Japanese want to be cholos, lowriders and that, And Jake, Israelites have that salt and make anything amazing and you just want to gravitate towards it because it's such a great show. Edomites, a so-called white man, doesn't have that flavor. That's why this stuff is SHIT. Now, if you watch anything Italian gangster orientated, Sicilian, like The Godfather, The Goodfellas, what else? Godfather, Goodfellas, the Godfather trilogy, right? Goodfellas, Mean Streets with Harvey Keitel, What else? Anything, or The Sopranos, for example, right? You and the way Jake moves in it, you can tell that those are Israelites if you have that spiritual eye to see. Because a lot of Israelites will say, "Oh, they white, they white, they white." Okay, yeah, Italians hate Jake. You know why Italians hate Jake? The same way Hispanics hate Jake. I mean, sorry, Italians are Jake anyway, and Hispanics are Jake anyway. But they hate each other. We hate each other. Why? Because it's the curses of Deuteronomy 28 verse 54 that our eyes shall be evil towards each other. All right, all right. Okay, and a lot of that hatred is there, especially with the Italians, because they know they've been called Swamp Guinea, and those are racial slurs that come from West Africa, and those are usually given to people of a dark skin, and they know the so-called white man in America knew that the Italians, right, which were the worker bees, right, type people, right, when they were brought over, they knew that these people are not so-called white people. You know what I mean? But they gave them a little bit of a higher position compared to the so-called black man because they are a little lighter. And these damn devils know that we're the same people. You can see the salt, man. If you could listen, if you can't see, look. Okay, let's just go into carnal terms, right? Look how Jake dresses with the silk suits and the jewelry, the gold. Look how Italian mobsters, even though they're mobsters, forget their mobster shit, right? That's foul. I know it's foul. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how they dress, the silk suits, the big gold pinky rings, the thick gold bracelets. How they like to be meticulous and sharp, keep the shoes shined on point. All right, and then you compare the cholos. You got the Latino gangsters. How they like to keep their jeans or their parachute pants or their pleated trousers or their pachuco type zoot suits on point. All right, you got the pachucos, the Northern Kingdom. You got the Harlem Jakes. Like in the 1930s, that wore zoot suits. You got the Italians. What do they have in common? They all dress very similar and very sharp, and they move the same. Even Eddie Murphy brought out the fact that Italians act more like ninjas than ninjas do. They got that bop in their walk. They got that twang in their slang, how they move. All right, and they move and they move with each other. A couple of Italians come out a little bit light skinned, and some of them come out with blue eyes, and some of them think that they're white or whatever. You watch the show The Sopranos, even James Gandolfini had a cousin in there, right? And he had blue eyes. And James Gandolfini would call him a blue-eyed prick because it was an anomaly, right? For an Italian to have blue eyes, a Sicilian especially. All right. And James Gandolfini's wife, Carmela, right? They gave her the position of being a Northern Italian wife because she had the blonde hair. But in real life, Carmela, who is Italian, she's Jake anyway. Her father is Sicilian, but her mother is Swedish. Hence the reason why she's got the blonde hair. But she's Jake anyway. You understand? But Northern Italians, some of them do have blonde hair and blue eyes. Some of them are Jake, but there's Edomites there too in Italy. All right? But the Southern boot, this section here, Southern Italian, Italy on down. I used to work with an Italian. He did not like Southern. He goes anything past of Rome. He goes anything south of Rome, a British Italian. Anything south of Rome, right? He goes is Africa, North Africa. Because everybody was darker. Everybody had kinky hair, curly hair. The stereotypical Italian, mobster Sicilian, olive oil, oily, black hair, greased back, tan skin or whatever, like even though Andy Garcia is a Cuban, he's a Manassite. I think he's Jake. Yeah, Andy Garcia got to be Jake, right? He's a Manassite. He's Cuban, I believe. But they look like Andy Garcia type. You know what I mean? That's why he was playing an Italian in Godfather 3, right? And this was a British Italian I used to work with, and everybody used to cuss him out because I used to work out with a whole lot of people that were Israelite foreigners and also Elamites, and the Elamites or the Israelite foreigners amongst Elam would cuss him out, saying when he would walk into the office because he had such a heavy tan coming from Italy, because he'd go there on holiday, and he'd walk in and they'd say to him, "Oi, look, there comes another Indian," and he would get pissed off because he didn't want to blend in with Indians. And I would just laugh about it, And these motherfuckers get dark when they go in the sun, all right? And they know it, man. That's why they hate Jake so much, because they don't want to be associated. It's spiritual. You got to look at it that way. Even though Esau, the so-called white man, hates our guts, but then you got Jake. We hate each other too, right? And Italian Jakes don't want to be associated with ninjas because They know they have a connection. They know deep down, man. They know deep down. All right, I'm just going to play this. And it's fair use. I'm not making no money out of this. I'm just emphasizing what the young lady and her father are saying. All right, she's got some great stuff. I'm actually promoting it. I'm promoting a channel. I'm just saying she's got a great channel, and I'll be watching a lot more of her stuff. It's a great channel. I haven't subscribed yet, but I want to check out a couple more videos, and then I'll give it a whirl.
A mixture of just the Southern boot. That's what we heard a lot about.
Yeah.
He's just going to talk about his dad. Now look at her dad. Now, if I saw him walking around in part of London, I would assume he is Northern Indian from India, right? He could look like one of my uncles, straight up. I'm not bullshitting, right? Some of my uncles are lighter than him. I'm talking about Jake stock though, all right? Because like I know I'm an Israelite, but most of my family are from Northern India. You understand? Like we were in slavery in Persia as well. And that was a southern kingdom that were there, I believe, right? And there's a lot of Israelite stock there. And Jake, you can tell apart. You understand? That's why Northern Indians are used mainly in Bollywood movies because they are more comelier, especially the women. They look like, some of them look like Italian women, some of them look like Hispanic women. Some of them just look like beautiful Indian girls, right? And Northern Indian men are usually bigger and taller as well, okay? And obviously, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28:64, we're scattered to the four corners of the earth. Hosea 1:10, we're the largest nation on the planet Earth, the Israelites, because of slavery, captivity, wars. And, the Israelites, the so-called black man, did rule Europe, Spain, Italy, Portugal, England, Ireland, all those lands during the so-called Dark Ages. The Dark Ages when dark people ruling. Okay, so our seed is left everywhere. And the white women we had as concubines, okay? And even in the movie True Romance, which I'm going to play in a second, right? When they shoot the Christian Slater's dad, and to piss the Sicilian off, who Christopher Walken is playing the Sicilian. Now, when they show you Christopher Walken in True Romance, how do they show him? Yeah, they show him with the blue eyes and all that, but they show him with tan skin, right? And his hair dyed black. And so they're giving him a stereotypical Sicilian look. And Christopher Walken's father said that, he said niggers came to Sicily. Because first he said the Italians were first blonde hair and blue eyed. He goes, the niggers came, I'm part of my French, right? But when the niggers came to Italy, he goes, it is so much fucking. He goes, they turned all that, they went, made all that blonde hair go away and the blue eyes go away, and made everyone dark, like you. So he goes, basically, you Italians are eggplants. The bio were like swamp guinea, wop, dago. You guys are eggplants. Okay? Now, you Italians, right? You Italians should be thankful that you are the seed of Jacob. If you are real so-called white people, you wouldn't be as cool as you're portrayed to be in the movies, because the so-called white man is not cool. You should be happy with that, the little bit of brown skin that the Most High has given you. And this guy doesn't look like a white guy to me, and an Edomite, right? Even though it's not just based on looks, all right? But we know what Sicilians are about. So this is just a prime example, right? Of our people scattered everywhere, okay? And they're giving their experiences, all right? And in True Romance, it's like basically, you see what you got to understand. A lot of you people think that it's just entertainment, and a lot of Italians should. What I was about to say, you Italians, especially Sicilians, Southern Italians, should be thankful that you are of the seed of Jacob and not Esau, the so-called white man. You're not a real Edomite or a cracker. If you were, you're going into slavery. You should be thankful. Most of you Sicilians and Italians are Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. You're the Southern Kingdom. You're the same lineage as His Majesty Hamashiach Yahushai. As the Lord sprang, pursuant to Hebrews 7:14, our Lord springs out of Judah. That's why you guys have a natural inclination to the Most High, even though you do it in a wicked way, like Catholicism and going to the church with that Hail Mary bullshit, praying to statues, the same way as the Hispanics do, our our Northern Kingdom Israelite brothers. That's why. Let me go to that scripture. Not according to knowledge, KJV. Yeah, Romans 10:2. Let's go there. Romans 10:2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. That's it. You guys have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You do it according to the bullshit that you guys have learned. All right, with this whitewashing of the Bible. All right, pursuant to the book of Maccabees, where the heathen are sought to paint the likeness of their images. All right, and you actually believe that, and you guys actually think that you're European, and Europeans, the real Europeans are the Japhetic people, the Samoans. All right, but that's such a long history and a big history. I don't want to touch on that. I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to play this video. He's going to talk about his experience. I'm going to go into one or two other sort of historic spots on the web, and one or two scriptures, and we'll take it from, and we'll leave it there. Yeah. Basically, you Italians, you Sicilians, all right, especially those of you who have the so-called ethnic look, whether you have the ethnic look or not, and you've got brothers and sisters that are pale with blue eyes and all that, it doesn't matter. But you are whatever your father is, pursuant to the book of Numbers 1:18. It doesn't matter what your mother is, okay? Because a lot of Italian men have married real white women or Edomite women in America. So some Italians do look pale today with red hair and all that shit. Like that weirdo from, if you watched, was it called the Brady Bunch, that Bonaducci guy, who's a fag anyway, but I'm just saying, he is of Italian descent, right? His red hair, he doesn't look like a Jake, but he's, Bonaducci or whatever, he's an example of a lot of Italian Jake men marrying Edomite women, so some of the children have come out very pale, right? But this guy's full-blooded Italian from the old country, as they like to say.
Under the boot. We'll mostly talk, I think, about your dad, my grandpa Dom, that he were named first. So his parents were immigrants, and they spoke Italian, and then obviously he spoke Italian.
He did.
They died when you were young.
Yeah, well, I never met my father. Would literally shave him.
You never get.
Oh, for crying out loud! 1 second. I'm just trying to find the part where he talked about his complexion, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I remember. I mean, I have a.
If you want to completely replace your income,
it's ridiculous. So you see how the commercials are coming back to back now. This is crazy, isn't it? It didn't really happen like that. As soon as I watched the video.
At 5 or 6 years old, so I think my grandfather was the first immigrant. My paternal grandfather that I was aware of had come to Italy.
Hold it in here. We don't want to be,
Alien enemy. The United States government requires all aliens of German, Italian, or Japanese nationality to vacate this area by midnight. Okay.
Losing our property or put in a prison camp or whatever. So a lot of people they didn't pass it down. I don't know if that's what happened with Grandpa.
And you actually celebrated July 4th. Neighbors that you move into are not coming over with an apple pie, but basically saying, "Why are you here?"
A question everybody asked when they found out you're Italian. Like, are you connected to the mob?
Even though they're always infighting, I mean, it's the nature of families. There was always something that ruffled entertainment, sports, politics.
My mom, who you're still married to, I should say. Alive and married still.
Right.
Yeah.
38 years.
Yeah.
Kind of family. You look pretty far back. But they didn't have the fans, having their music on a Saturday night. And it seemed like a foreign culture to people, and they were shunned for a while.
So you were a little kid. Were these neighbors saying, what would they say to you?
Yeah, well, kids they would say things I don't think you'd want to repeat. I mean, your dark skin was a trigger for them.
Yeah. There you go.
Things I don't people, and they were shunned for a while.
So you were a little kid. Were these neighbors saying, what would they say to you?
Yeah, well, kids they would say things I don't think you'd want to repeat. I mean, your dark skin was a trigger for them.
Look at that. Even you Italians aren't pale enough, man, for Esau. Even just this much of a tan. Now, today, look how much a so-called white man wants to be tan. They're women and men, want to look all ethnic and want to look like Italians, want to look Hispanic. I used to see a lot of white girls, especially here, that are trying to get with Jake. They're trying to look exotic. They dye their hair jet black, right? They get spray tans done. They're trying to look like all exotic with the models. They use all this blush and all this makeup to be darker and that. Sometimes you got to look at a white woman twice, thinking, okay, is that a white girl? Or is that a Latin woman? Or sometimes these white girls look like Indian girls. You can't even tell. Is that an Indian girl? Because they spray themselves so damn dark. And now it's like a fashion trend thing where they want to be dark. But back in the day, you had to be pale as F just to be so-called attractive, like like a porcelain statue.
That's all I can say. things I don't think you'd want to repeat. I mean, your dark skin was a trigger for them.
Yeah.
Okay, things that you don't want to repeat. Now, what do you think he's referring to? The N-word, right? They're probably going to call the N-word.
All I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you'd want to repeat. I mean, your dark skin. Well, kids just, they would say things I don't think you'd want to repeat. I mean, your dark skin was a trigger for them. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, what in their minds, how they computed that to be whatever ethnic group you were, somehow dark skin or darker skin was an attribute that they didn't welcome. It wasn't earned your keep, I guess, by proving yourself in the sports among kids. I mean, the parents, I think it was just slow, just a learning process for people to see you weren't so foreign, that you actually celebrated July 4th.
Right.
It wasn't just a bunch of Italians, having their music on a Saturday night after a big family meal.
Oh, this is interesting because I feel like Italians now, and I've said this on a channel, they're such an important part of being, like, the American subtext. It's like they're so beloved. I feel like people they love Italians.
You should look at the comments here as well. I experienced this too. Isn't it ironic that the people mocking our skin tone are the very ones who try to get a tan? See, Italians have gone through this experience. I mean, these guys have probably been in America for like over 100 years. Italians have been there from the get-go, right? But, a lot of Italians have been there for 100 years, but still not long enough. You've got the American accent. You live in Edomite cracker neighborhoods, and they still don't accept you. They expect you to... Because that's spiritual, even though you can kind of blend in, and there's still that spiritual divide there, because Esau, the demon in Esau, knows who you are as an Israelite. Those guys aren't us, It's like when you see these gangster movies and these Italian jakes go to different parts of America, the coppers pull them over. The cops say to them, "Hey, what are you New York Guineas doing over here?" And let's go to the word Guinea. Guinea, derogatory term for Italian by 1896, was originally Guinea. Negro Entimonline.com says 1740s and meant black person, person of mixed ancestry. Well, that is kind of true if you want to use the term mixed. Yeah, Italians are basically so-called black fathers and white mothers. Right? If you want to look at it that way, but you're not mixed. You are whatever your father is. So basically, Italians are basically Negroes. All right, in a different package that kind of, some of them look like Negroes with kinky hair. Some of them have the kinky wavy hair. It's all greased back down. They have the big wide nose. And if you look at this guy here, you could, where's his features at? Where is he? Now you can see it kind of. Now could you imagine him, right, with a fade, right? A Caesar. Imagine him with a Caesar, right? And a full beard. He's got Jake features. I mean, just look at his features. You can see it. All right, so Italians are basically so-called black men. His daughter is an Israelite. She's more than likely a Judite or Levite or a Benjamite. She's an Israelite. This should be thankful, man. Guinea, derogatory term for Italian, 1896, was originally Guinea, Negro. Entimonline.com says 1740s and meant black person of mixed ancestry. It was applied to Italians 1890, probably because of their dark complexions relative to Northern Europeans. All right. So basically, Italians are basically, supposedly, the world saw them as, people that your regular Joe Sixpack Edomite, so-called Caucasian, right, would assume, okay, they're white people, but they're darker than us. The Italians aren't white people. Some of them are Edomites, right? But a lot of them, I would say, me personally speaking, as a man, at least 50%, maybe 60% of all of Italy is Jake. All right. I mean, that's why Italian women, Sicilian women are so damn attractive, I mean, you saw the guy's daughter. She wasn't too bad. And after 1911 was occasionally applied to Hispanics and Pacific Islanders as well. Robert De Niro says in Goodfellas, the Irishman here to take you Guinea's money. I say, can't we all play nicely? And here's a movie that was focused on a lot of truth as well. Is a 1999 HBO movie, Vendetta, stars Christopher Walken in the story of the lynching of Italian Americans in New Orleans in 1891. The movie is based on the true story of corruption, power, and murder. Okay, where Italians were lynched. All right, and in the movie, when you watch it, I remember watching it years ago, before I was in the truth. All right, they even mentioned and specify in the truth. They said that when these Italians came, there was a wave of darkness, or no, sorry, a wave of dark skin or something like that. They mentioned the complexion and darkness. All right, so they already know, that you Italians are Israelites. You Italians try and fit in so much. All right, I mean, this is her channel. She got some great stuff on here, man. Too much black blood to be Italian. She even knows. I mean, she's nice looking. You know what I mean? She should, they should be thankful, man, that they have that they're Israelites. If you were so-called white people, you'd be finished. You know what time we're at? We're coming to the point where the Lord is going to return. If you were real Edomite Caucasian people, you'd be going into slavery. All right? How Sinatra made Italians white in America. Yeah, I mean, guys, he's got a northern Italian mother who's blue-eyed. That's why. He come out like his mother. But he's still Jake, though his father's Sicilian. And look at this guy's picture here, the one in the cream suit, the cream jacket. That guy, that's meant to be a white guy? You gotta be kidding me, man. You have got to be kidding me. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Right? Let's go to Jeremiah 12, verse 9. Okay? Now the Lord's heritage, all right, we are scattered to the four corners of the earth. All right? The Lord's heritage is mixed. What's a speckled bird? A speckled bird has many different types of spots on it. It could be light brown, it could be yellow, it could be pale white, it could be pink, right? And we as Israelites come in many different complexions. We are scattered in every nation, yes. And that's the parallel between the wheat and the tares, because the wheat and tares look similar. We're scattered to every single nation, and because a lot of black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and Israelite foreigners that don't know they're Israelites have married or had children with women of other nations. All right, and and they've had children, and the children have come out looking completely different from what their forefathers looked like hundreds or thousands of years ago. All right, a Judite today could look like an Italian, and Italians for the most part are Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. All right, you got Judites looking Hispanic because you got a lot of Nigerian men coming from West Africa marrying Hispanic women. You got a lot of Judite men, brothers, marrying Ephraimite women, and the children come out looking like their mother, but they're actually Judites. You got a lot of Judites. You got a lot of Ephraim. Like the rapper Noriega, Capone Noriega. He's Ephraim. His father is a so-called Puerto Rican with green eyes, right? But he married a Benjamite woman. Nori's mother is a so-called West Indian, but he looks like his mother, but with his father's features. He looks like a so-called black man, but he's actually an Ephraimite. All right? You got Bruce Lee, who's more than likely a Judite, okay? Because the Lord did say that, the Israelites or tribe of Judah and the Israelites in general will be covert in the land of Moab. The Lord will hide us, because the Lord has to hide us. Because if Esau, the so-called white man, knew, that every single Israelite in the world looks like John Shaft or Wesley Snipes or Denzel Washington, or Ving Rhames, yeah, Esau, the so-called white man, would just create some kind of drug or poison or whatever, and try and say, okay, yeah, however they do it in the demonic scientific labs to affect everyone with a certain amount of melanin in their body, however it works, or to attack every so-called Negro in the world, But even though Esau can't get rid of all the Israelites, but I'm just saying, the Lord has hidden the Israelites in many nations, and you know how you can see that you can see greatness. When you see greatness in martial arts, music, acting, innovation, in a really unique way, and you can tell through the Spirit that they're Israelites. Who makes everything great in this world? Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. The Lord has given, because Jacob is the former of all things. Hence the reason we've invented everything, but even though the so-called white man has usurped it and put his face on it, because the only thing the so-called white man has ever done is created the patent office. And with the patent office, they have claimed every single invention that we have done. All right? Or we have created. Anything I'm talking about. Look at all music genres. And even so, some of the white singers you say have got soul or whatever, right? Most of them are Italian singers. Some of the Irish, the Black Irish, the Bee Gees are of Irish stock. You got Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons who are Sicilian. Okay, a lot of people might say, "Oh yeah, they're white or whatever," Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. All right, so we look like everyone. All right, we look like everyone. And we're scattered to the four corners of the earth. Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's a primary, that should put a light bulb in your head. What do the Italians do? They worship a lot of stone. They worship wood. What do? The wooden cross. They always cross themselves. Have you seen the movie Bronx Tale? When Kalajano was with his father, when he's driving the bus and he drives to the neighborhood, every time they go past a damn Catholic church, they always cross themselves. They do confession. They bow to a statue of Mother Mary or whatever. An Edomite-looking woman. They have that Edomite image in their head, thinking that the Messiah is a so-called white man. And the Hispanics do that as well. And a lot of Judite brothers with the original look, so-called black men, are Catholics too. And we're the largest nation on the planet Earth. Okay, all right. We have children. We have. Listen, we have children. All right. Even your average Jake out there, right, has at least 1 to 2 children. All right. And then for the most part, where they call it planned family or whatever, or family planning, right? A lot of Jake families, whether it's planned or unplanned, Jake has at least anything from 2 to 12 children. Okay, back in the day, 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100 years ago, right? A Jake woman would give birth to 15 to 20 children, and she would start having children at the age of 16, maybe even 15, 16 years old. Okay, for let's just say 16 years old. All right. And by the time she's 40, she'll be pretty much done, and she'll still be looking like a young woman. All right. And all those children will be the seed, obviously the seed of their father, and they'll be brothers and sisters. All right. So we are huge at the sounds of the sea. And our natural inclination as an Israelite man is towards women. We like women. All right. The so-called white man is a faggot by nature, a pedophile by nature, a sodomite by nature, bestiality by nature. Okay. And plus the fact that the Lord has cursed them, they don't have many children. And number one, they don't like women anyway. All right. They don't like women. When these devils go to Thailand, what happens? Even the Thai women know that, okay, regular women run to the so-called black, Hispanic, and native Indian men, right? And the weirdos, transformers, run up to the Edomite-looking men, all right? And ask them if they want any little boys too. And that's real. You better Google that. Check out some videos. The truth is coming out. Hosea 1:10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. And we're coming into that time right now. All right? These devils are going to see that. And the devils are seeing it, and they're afraid. They know we're getting our power back, man, because we're calling the name of Yahweh Bashem Hashai. All right? Why Italians are called guineas. Let's see. I've got the definition of guinea. I'm not going to play too much, just in case Esau might do his thing, with copyright or whatever, But I'm not trying to take anything from the young ladies or the ladies' videos or whatever. I'm just getting some knowledge, and I'm glad she's on the wavelength of knowing that she is close to knowing her ethnicity, that she knows that she is of so-called black ancestry. All right, and she needs to know that she's an Israelite. All right, there's a Judite woman right there. Okay, Southern Kingdom. I want you to play. This is the part. All right, now, copyright fair use 1976. Okay, I'm just emphasizing on the truth being shown here. And remember, revelation of the method is when the so-called white man, or the powers that be, the Edomites and the heathen nations, like to push truth in movies, comedy, news media, um, any types of media, where even cartoons, to let you know the truth or historic facts or what they're about to do in the near future. And this will be a historic fact. Okay, let's go here first. The Moors. In 1224, the Muslims were expelled from Sicily to the settlement of Lucera, which was destroyed by the European Christians. All right, there's no such thing as European, because in that time, the 1200s and 1300s, the so-called white man was coming out of the caves at the time. All right, but the Moors, the emphasis is on the Moors. The Moors, which here's a little art, artifact here from the era when the Moors were ruling. Okay, so-called black men. I don't know, that's a plant pot or something, or some kind of beer jug. All right, but there's a lot of artwork. Hence the reason there's something called the Russian icons, and a lot of this history is kept in the Vatican vaults, where they've captured all the so-called black images. They burnt a lot, but they've also kept a lot as well, because Jacob, the so-called black Hispanic and Native Indian man, which is the bulk of the Israelites known today, right, like to keep images of themselves. Hence the reason why you see a lot of graffiti, a lot of images of fallen soldiers or dead rappers, with Biggie Smalls, Big Pun. You see all these murals, images, photos. Jake likes to pose with his pictures, outside his car, kneeling on the ground, doing gangster poses. You see the pictures of the Bloods and Crips, or Jake trying to be cool, whatever, like to keep images of themselves, photos of themselves, paintings of themselves. It's a natural thing that is in our spirit to do. All right. Hence the reason from the Knights of the Round Table, Jake's been painting themselves, man, from the kings of Europe, who are so-called black men, to the Knights of the Round Table, who are so-called black men. The knights and the warriors were so-called black men. Okay, the warriors, or the native Indian warriors, different shades of brown men, all Israelites, so forth and so on. Did the Moors rule Sicily? Moors in the Black Mediterranean, arriving from present-day Tunisia, Seleucid side. The Arabs conquered Sicily in 827 AD and remained in power for some 250 years. And Jake likes to get down with the ladies, all right? In fact, the new conquerors were not usually addressed as Arabs, but rather as Moors, okay? Now, they didn't say, now why have they got this image? Moors of Sicily. There you go. All right. And Dago is a derogatory term. Italians, okay, derogatory term of people of dark skin. What's the origin of the word Guinea, and why do people call them that? It's commonly thought to relate to Guinea in Africa, and maybe used to suggest that Italians Americans have dark, swarthy skin. And dark, swarthy skin is basically brown skin.
Tell me. Could I have one of those Chesterfields now? Sure. You got a match? Oh, wait, no, don't bother. You're Sicilian, huh? Sicilian. I read a lot, especially about things, about history. I find that shit fascinating. Here's a fact, I don't know whether you know or not. Sicilians were spawned by niggers. Sicilians were spawned by niggers. Sicilians were spawned by niggers. It's a fact. Yeah. You see, Sicilians have black blood pumping through their hearts. And no, if you don't believe me, you can look it up. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you see, the Moors conquered Sicily, and the Moors are niggers. See, way back then, Sicilians were like wops from northern Italy. They all had blonde hair and blue eyes. But, well, then the Moors moved in there, and, well, they changed the whole country. They did so much fucking with Sicilian women, huh? That they changed the whole bloodline forever. That's why blonde hair and blue eyes became black hair and dark skin. You know, it's absolutely amazing to me.
I'm gonna leave it there. Copyright Fair Use, 1976. You can check out the movie yourself. I think it's on Netflix right now. See how they show you the truth. All right. Now this is the reason. Now this is just emphasizing on the fact, right? You know, this is the reason why you were made fun of. This is the reason why you weren't liked by the so-called white man. All right. And some of you Italians are a little bit lighter, you know, like a Frank Sinatra or whatever, and you can sort of pass. A lot of you Italians, and if you watch the movie The Untouchables with Andy Garcia, Sean Connery from 1990 or 91, I believe, right? There was Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia was playing an Italian or Sicilian, right? And Sean Connery, you know, looked at him and looked at him a second time. And Sean Connery knew that, oh, this guy looks a little bit ethnic. And Andy Garcia, who's playing an Italian or a Sicilian in the movie, said his name was, I believe he said his name was Stone. His surname was Stone. And then Sean Connery goes to him, what is your real name? And then he came out with some Italian name. Because some Italians just have that ethnic look. Some Italians can kind of blend in. You know, the ones that blend in change their surname to fit in. They get rid of the vowel, or they change their surname altogether. All right, the same way these small hatters do. Why? Because they want to blend in, they want to fit in. But some of them can't fit in. They just look blatantly ethnic and they have the Italian names, you know? And even if you can't fit in, you know, you got that complexion for the protection, you're pale enough or whatever, and you change your surname, there'll still be that spiritual divide because Edomites won't like you. And you still won't fit in. The heathen women are going to like you. They'll like you because, you know, heathen women like Jake. But overall, as the other nations as a people won't like you. You know, you'll feel it. And you'll always gravitate towards your own, to shoot the shit, to talk, to chill. Hence the reason why you have so-called black neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods, Italian neighborhoods. All right? Because we vibe with your own. And then when we cross paths as we're the same people, so-called black Hispanics and natives and Italians and other Jakes out there, when we cross paths with each other, we'll say to us, and we're invited to a cookout or whatever, and we'll sit down and talk, and we'll say, hey man, we're like the same people. We're pretty much cool. The only thing that divides us is culture. Like with the Hispanics and Italians, there'll be the Italian culture, the slang, the food. With the so-called black man, there'll be culture, slang, or the food might be a little different. But for the most part, we're the same race. Hence the reason why we vibe with each other so well when we do get to a chance to spend time with each other. All right, and you'll fit right in the background, you know, of a picture or whatever. You put a so-called white man or a heathen in the picture, they're gonna stand out of the crowd, man, like a sore thumb, you know. All right, so this is just another indication, all right, where you Italians, you know, you need to wake up. You're Israelites. Those of you that are in the truth, beautiful. We got a great millstone camp. There is a great millstone camp in Italy, right? One brother is a Judite with the original look. The other brother is a Judite with the so-called Sicilian or Southern Italian look. All right, and one of the one with the Southern Italian look has spoken to a police officer, I believe. He mentioned it in one of his teachings that he spoke to a Southern Italian police officer, and the Southern Italian police officer knew that he had so-called Negro blood. A lot of Sicilians know. That's why a lot of Sicilians have been hated by Northern Italy, because Northern Italy, there is Israelites over there as well, right? And they do have blonde hair, blue eyes, but not all of them. Not all of them are Edomites. There is Jake over there too, but a lot of them are Edomites in northern Italy also. And those Edomites in northern Italy hate the southern Italians. Why? Because they know the southern Italians' forefathers were the ones that conquered Sicily, Italy as a whole. All right, this is that's another example of Jacob versus Esau, Esau versus Jacob. That hate will always be there. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.